Hey, howdy, friends. It's Steve DePaul here with the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Today's topic, are you proactive or more reactive? Interesting topic. So as we age and we get older and we move, towards the right in our lives, it's important to understand that proactivity is the best. Okay. You don't want to be reactive and just kind of get something that comes up and bite you, and then you're running around on this trying to figure out what are we going to do. Okay, and we'll get to more of that a little bit later on in the vlog. But before we get started, hey, could you do us a favor, please, here on the Rose Realty team, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/at moving to Dallas, Texas. That'll give you access to all of my vlogs, all of our videos, whether they're on a specific topic like our seminar series that's coming up, or the house that we sold, or house that we got for sale right now. You'll be the first to understand, or the first to be alerted rather, when those things come up. And with all of the information we have about staging your home and selling and buying and all that kind of good stuff, you'll be alerted to all of that. All of it for no charge to you, obviously. Our team, we really thank you for supporting our channel and our vlogs, and for supporting our team as well. And we appreciate you and your family for doing that. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so why proactivity? So making real estate decisions matter when you're talking about financial plans and stability and lifestyle needs and family considerations. Okay. Um, at the end of the day, you want to be proactive. So essentially you get to make a choice, right? I mean, that's what it really comes down to. You get to make a choice. You don't want to be, 5 years from now and something were to happen. He develops Alzheimer's or dementia. I hate to say it, but it happens. Or she breaks a hip, and then now what do you do? Okay, well, do you get the opportunity to live in your home, the way you want to, or are you going to have to move in with the kids, and live in the guest room down the basement because you didn't think ahead, and you weren't proactive in your thought process and your plans. So you want to be able to make those decisions on your own. You want to lead the lifestyle with the financial planning and that you want, and not just be forced into something. So planning ahead is really important. Um, at the same time, we have to take into considerations what the local markets are telling us. Okay, so if you're one that's going to say, "Hey, we're going to move into, let's say, a 55 plus community," that's great. We live in one, we love it. But if you're living someplace that doesn't have one, then you have to make those considerations and say, well, you know what? We don't have one here where we live, and so maybe we move to North Texas, or we move to Arizona, or we move down to Florida. Okay. I know those are all seems to be cliches, but that's where right now some of those populations and those 55 communities are. You also want to understand the trends in terms of building of communities and building of smaller housing and downsizing and those kinds of things. You want to understand and plan ahead and create a business plan, if you will, so that you know what your plans are and what those steps are and what those steps are that you have to take in order to achieve what those goals are. Okay. And so we have to understand the local markets, whether they can accommodate your needs and wants, and family plans. And then we, at the same time, we want to maximize the value of your house and the value of your purchase, so that, again, it's not just something that was forced upon you because you didn't make these plans, and that you didn't plan ahead, and now you have to just kind of roll the dice. By planning ahead, you get to make the decisions for yourself. You make sure that the money that you need for not only your housing but all of your healthcare needs is there, and that the facilities and amenities are around you, so that if she breaks her hip, there's a good hospital or physical therapy facilities nearby or within a comfortable driving distance, so that you don't have to say, we have to move over here because our town or our area doesn't have that, and now we're forced to move now we're kind of forced to move someplace else. One of the key steps in the proactive approach is assessing your housing needs, how many bedrooms, what kind of amenities you want, in the future, to understand what's possible. Okay, and make those strategic decisions before they become urgent and before they arise. And then, like I said, then you're sort of forced into something that you don't want to be forced into. Planning out how many bedrooms you need in that house. Far too many people, unfortunately, far too many people say, hey, we want 3 bedrooms because the kids are going to come and visit. And we have to hit kind of hard reality kind of sets in and says, well, how many times do they visit now? Well, they visit once every 3 years. Then do you want to pay for that third bedroom, on the mortgage and all of that, when they only visit every 3 years? Okay. What we've done, okay, is I was looking at that third bedroom, and Rose said, people don't visit us that often. It's probably me, well, whatever. But they don't visit us that often. So our decision, our agreement was, when somebody comes to visit, we're going to put them up at the Marriott. Okay. That way that saves us money on our mortgage. It saves us money on heating and air conditioning, a larger space. And it also saves us obviously on cleaning. Okay. Um, all of that said, it was a good plan that we did when we moved forward, and we understood what we wanted, what we needed, and where we had to be, and that then everything that sort of fell into place. So the benefits of being proactive is planning ahead allows greater control, greater financial optimization of not only the house you sell, but the house that you have, I think rather the funds that you have available to you. Okay, it reduces stress and ensures a smooth transition into a kind of senior friendly housing environment with the amenities that you're looking for. This is something that we should, that the people involved in this should be your real estate planner, your CPA, your financial planner, and your trust attorney, as well as the kids. Okay. Now, everybody's going to have a different view. I mean, the CPA is going to worry and wonder about, taxes and those kinds of things. The financial planner is going to worry about, they're maybe taking, money out of their retirement, and then it's less for me to manage, and less of a bonus at the end of the year for me. Your trust attorney is just going to do what you say. Okay, yep, fine. We're going to put that in the trust. It's going to go to the kids, whatever. We'll talk about that at another seminar. Uh, and so the planning is real important, and it's important to have those people involved, so that I always think that that more brains are better than just 3. Okay, so if we can get 6 brains involved, that's great, because everybody then has their opinion. Now, the risk of obviously sitting back and being reactive is waiting too long to make the housing decisions, where maybe you don't have that intermediate step into a friendly, active 55 community, where maybe you go like right into like assisted living, where maybe the housing options cost more, and there's a limited space and those kinds of things. So understanding what your options are and what the steps along the way could be, or important in the proactive approach, so that we and you understand what's available and how much that costs, and what the bottom lines are, as opposed to just, again, having something sort of forced down your throat or forced upon you, and then you're just maybe just not going to like it. So here's what it comes down to: when you're proactive versus reactive. When you're proactive, you get to create the strategy, you get to make the choices, you have that financial security that you need, the housing stability and the peace of mind, and also a smooth and relaxing transition, as opposed to when you're more reactive. You have maybe limited options. There's more stress. It's more hurried. Um, you have to do it quickly, and not everybody, sort of gets what they want in the end, and so being proactive is sort of a much better, approach than the reactive. Hey, we're looking here. This is a list of the our seminar series. It's not complete, but we just talked proactive versus reactive senior relocation, avoiding family feuds. Interesting topic. A lot of people says, well, my family gets along, but how many families have you heard where when mom and dad move on, the kids are fighting over properties, downsizing and decluttering, 1031 exchange, senior living options, tips for selling in today's market. This is our seminar series, and we're pretty proud of it. You might see in Facebook or Google, you might see an ad that looks something like this. That's my awesome wife Rose there, and this is a seminar, two seminars we just gave back in March. One was legacy and family feud prevention planning, and that's that. Okay, so you're developing wealth within the family, and you're could pass on at some point, and then how we avoid that feud amongst the kids and grandkids about who gets what house, or how much do they want, or do we have to sell immediately, and that kind of thing, right? And then planning for the future and beyond. Talks a lot about reactive versus proactive. Okay, so really good seminars. We have them. Basically, we go around North Texas having these seminars. We can also do one-on-one, in a Zoom if need be, or we could come out to your place if you're local. So I kind of hope that helped. Next week, we're going to go into more depth into this seminar series and give you sort of a summary of the top, six or seven, and maybe that'll get you thinking about attending one of them. This is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty team. Thanks for listening. Until next time.